Kamal, good morning. Welcome
Good
in
morning.
Mauritius. So what are you doing here?
Good morning. I'm here for opening our Center of Excellence. We're super excited to have this Center of Excellence here with a new office in Next Sky building that we're going to start off. We've been expanding the Center of Excellence since the beginning of the year, and we are hiring close to 200 positions. So I'm here to collaborate with universities, work with our local partner Bolt on the hiring strategy here, and also to spend time with the new hires that have come on board to Corel.
Whenever you say Corel in Mauritius, there's only one product, is Corel Draw. Why have Corel been so impactful in Mauritius when we call about just the first part of it, we think about Corel Draw.
Got it. So like we've been like Corel as a company, right? Has always been associated to Corel Draw, not just in Mauritius, but even in other parts. So when we say, hey, there is a business called Parallels, people have always like either known Parallels or like they've known the Corel side of the business. So we are going through a whole exercise of how do we bring together these different products under an umbrella of what we embody and what we stand for. So it is not just a Mauritius thing, but it's an overall Corel thing that like we are in a path of transformation for Corel on that.
So how is Corel doing right now? There's so much design software now.
Yes. So Corel has always had like a strong community of designers who've been our strong customers since the early days of Corel Draw and all the way up until now. And they continue to use Corel because what Corel Draw has happened is that like it's got into the workflow of these designers. So which means that's the first software that they open in the morning and that's the last software they close in the evening before they get off. So it is embodied into their workflow or day-to-day productivity when you think about it. A lot of the design software that is out there is a point solution for something. It could do photo, but it may not do video. It could do the, let's say, a quick, easy editor of design, but it may not be able to take a photo and then do this vector. And we are also a very leading, we have core IP technology, which is not available yet in the market. There are very few people who have this kind of core technology, and one of it is this vector editor and some of the machine learning AI capability that we've invested in, be it in the photo editor, be it in the painter technology, be it in Corel Draw, that allows you to trace, that allows you to get perceptive drawing. So it's some of the unique value proposition that our customers get that allows us to still be very, very relevant and also be very, very useful for the customers on a day-to-day basis.
If I say when Corel Draw 1 came in up to the version 2022,
yeah,
you're satisfied, or you're still working on something that was still in the bucket in those early years?
Yeah. So I would actually answer that a little differently, right? The customers, when Corel Draw 1.0 came, to the customers, Corel Draw 2022 were released, have evolved. So we also have evolved with where our customers have gone. So I would say like where our customers take us, where our customers want us to be, we go there. So that is why we are a product-led growth, where we first listen to customers, and based on that, like we keep evolving the product. So I'm sure 2 years from now, if we were sitting on this table and you were going to ask this question, yes, there is always going to be the things, hey, we wanted to do, but we didn't get to do. But guess what? The customers in 2 years from now are asking us something else. We'll go get them done.
Is AI giving you some facility to do this work now? Artificial intelligence that cannot be done in 6 or 7 version of Corel now
Absolutely.
to be done.
Absolutely. So there is both artificial intelligence and the compute capability which is when you consider the ability to run Corel Draw on a computer, everybody's computers have become powerful, but also like the capability that like what kind of technology we can package into Corel Draw now because of the AI and ML algorithms or models that's available has become easier for us. So which means like we continue to invest there internally and with our partners to bring these technologies into Corel Draw to make sure like, hey, whether it is the GPUs on the local computer that we can now use to do some additional things, whether it is cloud that we can leverage to get Corel Draw intelligent. So all those are things that we continue to do. And it also ties to your earlier question, between Corel Draw 1 to Corel Draw 22, right? So we are never satisfied. If we are satisfied, then like we are just in the same place. So we keep challenging ourselves.
Whenever you have a request, customer request, do you do it, you package it, you see if this thing that we are asking Corel Draw or any other program, let's say Mine Manager, Parallels, WinZip to do, you package it for 2 years, 3 years, and then you set the theme, but how do you work with that? You said to me that you are very customer driven.
Yeah. So if I understand the question right, you're asking like...
if I've asked Corel to do something, are you going to do it right away, or you're going to see if ever there's a tendency to go in that direction from other customers?
Got it. So when we make a decision on any of our customer inputs, it involves multiple. I lead product, and definitely customer input takes precedence over a lot of the things. Let's say over like our strategic vision, we have some strategic vision that we go towards. We have, hey, here is a competitive feature that we need to make sure we are able to meet and build towards. Here is like technical debt, what we call engineering excellence of the product, which is how do you improve quality, how do you improve performance, right? Those aspects also. So in any given like release or any given like what we call sprint, we make sure we are working across customer asks, we are working across our strategic vision, we're making sure the product quality and the product capabilities are to the satisfaction of what a customer would expect from a Corel Draw kind of a product. So we don't take those things very lightly, and it's a mix of those that goes into the customer. So to answer your question on, hey, if I ask Corel to do something, yes, we are putting together even like ideas portal where customers can come in, put features and vote on features. And if we see like a certain feature, for example, in the next version of Corel Draw, we're working on, there's a certain feature that got voted the most. It is about a support of a format for WordPress. So we saw, okay, we need to put this WebP support because there is a lot of customers asking us. They voted on a ask like this, so we are doing it. So we take these very seriously when a customer comes and does this. And how do we incorporate some of these aspects?
So you do also WinZip, what I use nearly every day. So how came you decided to acquire WinZip?
Got it. So WinZip is one of those products which was acquired as part of Corel. When you think about like the files we are dealing with, right? These are very large files. These are files from media purposes or document purposes where like they are in the megabytes to gigabyte kind of range, or even sometimes larger than that. So when you have these large files, we see WinZip as a very strategic product to be able to compress and share. And now evolving from that, I told about encryption as a capability. A lot of WinZip customers are actually using us because of the encryption, because it's a secure way to not just compress, but while you're compressing, you're also encrypting, which means you can say, hey, this can only be opened by a certain person, right? Or a certain person with an active directory group policy. So these kind of things, enterprises really like it. So they use it for compliance reasons as an auditing firm.
I'm going to pose a tricky question. How do you fight piracy? You know,
Yeah.
we are in Mauritius. You will hear the story. Corel Draw, we have hack codes on the internet. WinZip, it's the same thing. I could go on the internet. I can Google. I can hack it. How are you going to fight that piracy that is, instead of selling WinZip after that trial period, you're not receiving something because the guy is very interested, went on the internet, collected a code, input it, and he's free for life. Yeah. How are you working on that?
Yeah.
Piracy part, hacking, whatever you say it is.
So Corel is always committed to ethically and legally working towards what our customers and also our partners are very important to us, right? So we are committed to that. As Corel legal team, there is a lot of emphasis on making sure there is those high standards that we maintain while operating on these any of our regions where we conduct business, whether it's Mauritius or it's United States or Canada or everywhere. So that's one of the things. The second thing is that we as Corel are also evolving some of these products. We understand this is not unique to Corel. As any desktop software, piracy in the industry was a common thing because desktop software was always installed and you don't have to connect to the network. So piracy is not unique to Corel. Piracy is just that aspect of piracy, what you mentioned about with the keys and everything, was a mapping of what it was for that technology capability of where products were with desktop products.
But you're losing finance, you're losing money, you're losing everything.
So what we do is that we work, most of our products are also getting cloud connected. So which means those products from a licensing perspective are authenticated, are authorized to a licensing server before you can work. And as most of these desktop products, we do what the industry has set as norms, saying how do you make desktop products to work in this kind of conducting business in an ethical and legal way.
So let's come back to Mauritius. You just say while having a meeting with students of UTM in Mauritius, 200 jobs. You have a big office in Next Sky. 200 jobs, it's a lot, nearly a call center.
Sorry?
It's nearly a call center. Nearly a call center.
Yeah, it's not a call center. So we are hiring across the 200 jobs are distributed across R&D, like engineering. We've hired a lot of QA, testing, whether it's automation testing, manual testing, but a lot of QA for our engineering. We are hiring actually a lot of support people, and then there are operations people also. So it is not a call center kind of a thing, but when we say support, some of our technology products, the support capabilities are, they're not just a call center kind of thing. They need to understand the technology and be able to support it, because these are IT administrators who are submitting a ticket saying, hey, my Windows server running a parallel software is stopped working. So they should be able to debug, they should be able to look into the issue and then resolve the customer issue. So there's a lot more than just the call center of answering phone calls that they're doing.
So what sort of profile are you looking for?
Yeah.
Guys with 40 years, gray hair, that have experience in that, or youngsters that you can model?
Yeah.
You can do it the Corel way.
Right. So we are hiring both leaders and individual contributors, and actually fresh out of college also, right? As I mentioned, we've already made some of these hires. As one of our partners was saying, Asma, we've made some of these hires of these students graduating out of college, and they are starting their career with us at Corel. And that team also has leaders who already worked in the industry here and for a few years who spent at other IT technology companies, and now they're coming to us to lead the team or be able to contribute as a senior quality assurance engineer, right?
What type of R&D are you going to do in Mauritius? Has this been decided in Seattle, or you're going to do what happens maybe what the African continent is looking after?
Yeah, so we develop our products globally. So this means that like there's a distributed, like especially we are a global workforce with a remote first kind of a policy. So many of our products are fairly distributed in terms of what the development happens. But one thing we are true to is that like when we set up a center of excellence and they're helping develop, they own and they run a certain area or a certain function or a certain part of the development, product development, which they are fully going to be accountable for. So it is not going to be just a part of like, here is a module or here's a thing, but it's something that they are able to be accountable. They are going to be able to be owning that whole area of product development. So when they are developing, some of this definitely will help with us being in the African, the strategic rationale of what we spoke about to conduct business here, but also it's going to be in our global product development.
And for support, what type of profile you're looking for support?
Yeah.
Someone who knows Corel, WinZip, Parallel, Mind Manager. So there's a lot of training that you will have to do.
So when we bring in some of these support teams, we actually train them. We give them enough time to be able to ramp up and grow within this role. So they do not have to come with this pre-knowledge of Corel products. We understand, and that's partly the reason why we are trying to set up this training institutions and this university partnerships to give our products to the students to also get trained. So having said that, some of the support roles that we're looking at is across the 4 leading brands: Parallels, WinZip, CorelDRAW, and on Mind Manager. And each of these products, it's a little bit different on what the support role is looking for. But more importantly, they should be familiar with being able to operate and use some of the software on Windows or Apple machines and whatnot, right? So be familiar with just some of those technologies more than anything.
Are you hiring beta testers?
Beta testers,
yes. Alpha testers, final product testers.
So that's the QA roles that like absolutely alpha, beta testers, being able to bring those manual testing or functional testing. So those are roles that we are definitely hiring.
So someone while you were meeting, it said you are a massive recruiter. My question is why? Is there personnel coming out and go? There is a rotation of personnel, or you need to grow? That's why you're a massive recruiter.
We are a massive recruiter, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are, especially given how the economic climate is going. I know a lot of the technology companies have shrunk in hiring. We are actually the opposite. We are taking this opportunity to grow our teams because we have the need for these different roles across different parts, Mauritius being a big center of excellence, as I mentioned. So we are a massive recruiter in that sense that we are taking this opportunity to actually grow our teams across the board because there's a need, and the fundamentals of where we are as a business is strong in that sense.
To another student, you said that you were in Mauritius because you wanted to go to Africa. This I've understood at the start. What is interesting you in Africa? CorelDRAW is not implemented, WinZip is not in, Mind Manager is not, Parallels is not in. That's why you're in Mauritius to go to Africa.
So it's twofold, right? Like, so we see this as in general, this area within Africa from a people, technology, talent perspective to be a very strong up and coming set of talent that's available here. And we want to take definitely make use of this opportunity to bring some of the bright talent into Corel to help us build some of these products and help us innovate. That is what is leading us. And the second part is that, like, from a business standpoint, we definitely are interested in bringing some of these products into Africa also. So when we have our presence here and we have our local talent here, we have an ability to understand this market better because then we are on the ground operating to be able to understand this, what the rhythm of business is. So on both sides, but it's first is we are building that's why the talent and the people first before trying to conduct business of trying to sell our products on this.
What is the future for Corel? What are you going to take out from the blue in the coming months?
Yeah, so we are very excited. I mentioned a few times about how there's a new leadership and the new energy that Corel, we've been in business for 35 plus years, but we are at a journey phase where we've kind of evolved into the next, what we call the work 3.0 is what we call, right? And what that is basically how do you enable this freedom of work for our customers, for like the employees, for the users of Corel products. And that's a very, very exciting place to be, because it's almost like we've got another fresh infusion of energy to be able to go and innovate from ground floor what these products are for the cloud, for our consumers, for our IT administrators. So that is very exciting.
Last question, you said that true freedom means working better and living better.
Yeah.
My true freedom is to be free. Do you agree? Or it's the Corel way of doing things?
So when we say true freedom is working better and living better, it's for our employees, like from a cultural perspective, right? We want to allow them to be able to have the flexibility of work, have the flexibility of, hey, where I want to be productive, whether I'm in office, whether I'm at home, whether I'm on my laptop or whether on my phone, right? And also whether I'm choose to be in Zoom calls or choose to be in-person, face-to-face meetings. So that is what we call the true freedom for our employees to be able to embody. Yeah.
Kamal, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the success in Mauritius.
Pleasure.